Hello, everybody. Welcome to the West Des Moines Chamber of Commerce's CEO Insight Series. I'm so excited. We have with us today Dave Baccile, who is Chief Investment Officer with NCMIC, to tell us all about this amazing company and himself. So welcome, Dave.
Well, thank you, Catherine. Great to be here.
I'm so glad you're here. So Dave is really involved in the West Des Moines Chamber. He's on our executive committee of our board of directors, and one of our president's council members, part of our talent attraction campaign partners. So you do so much for the community and so much for the chamber. So I want to say, first off, thank you.
Well, no problem. Thank you, because the chamber is doing amazing work here, and you're really doing awesome stuff. So it's great to be involved.
We appreciate your support very, very much. Tell us about NCMIC and Professional Solutions and what you do and who you serve.
Yeah, so NCMIC is kind of one of these quirky little companies, and it's amazing how many little companies are around Des Moines, West Des Moines area like this. But we started over 75 years ago, and it was a handful of chiropractors who were having a hard time getting malpractice insurance. And so they formed a mutual. So they all came together and they pooled their money to essentially protect themselves if they were to get sued. And it's been going strong for 75 years, over 75 years now. And we have expanded. We cover over half of all the chiropractors in the country. So we have over 40,000 policyholders now that are just chiropractors. Wow. So we've really grown over the years. NCMIC has also grown with it to provide services in addition to malpractice for those chiropractors. So we have a finance company because what we found was that a lot of times chiropractors weren't totally understood by the financial services industry. And so they started asking us for other things like, can you provide credit cards? Can you offer us loans for our equipment and things like that? And so we have built up other services like financial services to help support those customers. And we've continued to expand because we wanted to be a more diversified company. And we formed other lines of business that serve other professions. So for example, we provide malpractice insurance for dentists, and that's through our professional services, Professional PSIC company. Okay. We also provide medical malpractice for doctors, for medical doctors. So we're doing a lot of things for a lot of different people now.
Wow, that's amazing. I went to your website. I saw you have like a lot of videos too, and educational type events as well. Is that true?
Yeah. Okay. So great point, Catherine. So we are focused on being a resource for our customers. So a lot of times, especially for the chiropractors, if you think about it, their offices tend to be small. They might have one or two chiropractors in an office. They don't necessarily have a lot of resources to help support their business. And we are able to provide a lot of those types of videos, as you said, help them understand what are the important things that they need to know in terms of running their business, because they didn't go to school to be able to manage a business necessarily. They went to school to be able to practice on their patients. And so what we've done is we've really tried to help them manage their whole business and to be there for them kind of every step of the way.
That is so neat. We work with a lot of chiropractors as our members at the West Des Moines Chamber. So what are some trends that you're seeing in the industry, since it sounds like you're kind of the hub and are at the pulse of that chiropractic industry? What are some new trends in that field?
some good questions. Some interesting things kind of going on right now. We're seeing within the chiropractic profession, we're seeing that when new students come out, they are not necessarily looking to start their own practice like some still do, many still do, but many are looking to join existing practices because they like to have the regular hours. They don't necessarily want to manage a business, that would be required if they open their own office. So we're seeing more entering, businesses that are already established, practices that are already established. The other thing we're seeing are some big clinics that are starting to show up. So what's happening is instead of just being one office, there are now clinics that have offices all over the country. So we're seeing some bigger practices that way. So definitely some changes going on in the industry.
Wow. So it sounds like you're growing.
Mhm.
How do you find talent then for NCMIC and professional solutions?
Yeah, it's been challenging, especially the last couple of
Yeah.
years. I think that with the strong economy and the way employment has been, it's definitely
Hmm.
been more challenging. But we've approached it in a couple different ways. And one of the things that we've really been focused on is building a more diverse
Nice.
workforce. And I know you know Mike McCoy, and I know you're familiar with how strong he is
Hmm.
in that area. But what we found is that instead of having a narrow pool of candidates, by expanding that pool and looking in places where maybe we didn't look before,
Hmm.
and establishing contacts and networks that maybe we didn't have before, that we're able to bring in more people and get more talented people, have a more diverse workforce. So it's been a win-win. We've actually started a couple of programs that are new to NCMIC. And you may have heard about our new program, our rotational program that we established a few years ago. And that's one where we have
Hmm.
them spend a year going through different departments within our company. And the idea there is that they get a sense for all of the different things that we do.
Hmm.
And at the end of the year, our hope is that we'll have a good fit for them. They'll
Yeah.
find something that they're interested in, and they'll find something for an opportunity that we're looking to fill. And it's been a great program. We've brought in some really terrific people.
And that's a whole year program.
It's a
That's
whole year.
amazing.
It is, and
Yeah.
it's been outstanding, and
Mm.
our employees have really embraced it. Um, uh, each of the candidates that come in, they have a mentor that
Okay.
guides them all the way through that year, and then they're there as a resource for them. So it's been a fantastic program.
That is incredible. Well, I know you've won a lot of awards for your culture, best place to work, diversity,
Yeah.
equity, inclusion awards. Really amazing. So tell us about your culture. And I know Mike McCoy is always ranked one of the highest at the
Yeah.
Business Record Book of Lists, leader of the year and things like that, most influential leader. So
Right.
tell us about your culture, which I know is phenomenal. So
It is. So
yeah.
I've been with NCMIC for over 17 years.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Um, Mike,
Wow.
who you are talking about, joined us about 7 or 8 years ago. We've seen a lot of great things take place. Obviously we've had a pandemic in there too, which has been a, a whole nother story. But Mike has really done some great things with the culture.
Hmm.
He's brought in some terrific people. We've done a number of exercises where the management team gets together and we've established new mission statements, and
Hmm.
it's really been a great shift. Some of the things that he's done and that we've really embraced is that we're tearing down the walls between the departments and the business lines.
Mm.
And so we're really working together to solve problems.
Mm.
Communication's never been better. The morale's been great, so there's just been a lot of great stuff happening.
How many employees do you have now?
Just over 200. So
Okay.
we're not a huge
Oh
company.
my gosh.
We're not a
Okay.
huge, but
Yeah.
but we're doing a lot of different businesses for a small company,
Yeah.
and so
You
that's
are.
why it's really important to bring down those walls and to get
Hmm.
people communicating and working together, because we really maximize what we're able to do.
Well, you also give back a tremendous amount to the community and to nonprofits, and
Right.
everybody knows that. So
That's right.
tell us about your philosophy about supporting our nonprofits.
Yeah, so really important
Yeah,
aspect, right?
yeah.
So our tagline, if you will, is we take care of our own, right?
Hmm.
And so we define that by our customers, our employees, and our community.
Okay.
And so we aren't a huge company, as I said,
Yeah.
but the community is really, really important to us. We are very supportive of the community in a number of ways. We have programs that encourage our employees to go out and be on boards of different nonprofits around
Hmm.
the community. So, we're supporting things like the Habitat for Humanity, Boys and Girls Clubs of Central Iowa. I mean, there's a whole host
Yeah.
of nonprofits that we support. We just came off of our United Way campaign, which I know a
Okay.
lot of companies have
Yeah.
probably been involved
Yeah.
with. And it's something that's been really important to us for a long time.
Mhm.
And again, we're 200 employees or so.
Mm.
We had 75% participation. So really proud of our employees for stepping up and being a part of that, embracing the community the way they have. And so, yeah, it's been a very big focus. And I think, Catherine, I think something that is important to any organization is kind of finding your why, right? And when you can kind of rally around the community, that's another reason for your why in terms of why you come into work every day. Why is this organization different than the other ones?
I love it. That's incredible. So you're Chief Investment Officer. Obviously, you've been there for a long time. It sounds like you're very successful. You're a very successful business leader in our area. So
Well, thank you.
if you could tell your younger self something, maybe a piece of advice, kind of looking back, what maybe could that be?
Gosh, great question. It's actually a question I've been thinking about because I have 3 kids, and they are getting to that age where they're starting to think about careers, right? In fact, my oldest son just graduated from college, and
Congrats.
he's teaching, and I've got a daughter that's going to graduate from college next year, and then a son that's going to go into college. So I've been thinking about what advice do I have, for them? So I think to answer your question, really for me, I would say it is to really value the relationships that you can build. So I would look for mentors. I would want to focus on working with the best and brightest people, best and brightest organizations possible, and not worry so much about the money and whether it's a highest paying job or not, because the money will follow if you have the right experiences and you develop the right relationships.
Boy, that is so true. That is so true. So tell us why you love West Des Moines.
Yeah, man. So I've been in West Des Moines for about 20 years now.
Okay.
We moved here shortly after my son was born.
Okay.
And we've seen a lot of changes. I mean, West Des Moines has really, really grown.
Yeah. Spring Creek Mall.
Oh my gosh.
Probably opened up right after you moved here, I bet. Yeah,
it did. I mean, so there's been a lot of great stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of good things to love. I think, though, that what I notice is that we are really proud of this community, and it shows. And so when we go to visit other places, we love to visit other places, obviously, but what's great about here is that people really care about this community, and you see it in the businesses they own, the businesses they run, the organizations, the communities, our friends. And so it's just a great place to raise a family. It's a great place to live. So there's just a lot of good things going on right now.
Yep, I love it.
And a lot of it's because of the work that this chamber is doing.
Well, and thank you, because you're a key part of that. So thank you so much. How can we get a hold of NCMIC? Maybe your website, so folks know how to get in touch.
Yeah. So www.ncmic.com. All of our lines of businesses, it can be found there. And we'd be happy to get to know you better. So
and they're hiring.
Come and check us out. Yeah, we're always hiring, right? There's always opportunities.
Well, thank you, David Baccile. So glad that you're here today. So great. We just scratched the surface. There's so much more to talk about, all the great work you're doing. But thank you for being here today. And thank you to our audience for joining us at our CEO Insight series. And go West. Thank you so much.